Hello, I am Mr. Davis, one of the 8th grade math teachers at Clayton Middle School. You may have me or another teacher. Regardless, we are here to help you. Solving equations is our first topic. Now, in 8th grade math, you're expected to solve a few different types of equation problems. One example is your basic two-step equation, 10 minus 10s equals 40. Okay, so in order to solve this kind of problem, you have to do what is called the inverse operations. Right now, our first thing here is we have a positive 10. The opposite of positive 10 is subtract 10. We're going to subtract 10 to both sides of the equation. Remember, you always have to do things to both sides of the equation. That will cancel those terms. You're left with negative 10 times s equals 40 minus 10, which is 30. Now, students are always thinking, is that negative or minus? Well, broadly speaking, think of it as negative 10 times s. The opposite of multiplying is divide. To solve that, you divide by negative 10. Keep the negative attached to the negative 10. Do it to both sides. Negative 10 divided by negative 10 is simply just 1. 30 divided by negative 10 is negative 3. Your answer is negative 3. And by all means, check this. I'm not going to have enough space on the board to check it, but we're going to do other types of problems. By all means, if you need to, pause the video, take notes, do all the stuff you do normally in class. I'm going to go ahead because you have the ability to pause it if you need to. Now, that is a simple two-step equation. You've been doing that since 7th grade. Now, in 8th grade, you're adding more complicated steps, but not by a lot. The same principles in 7th grade still work. So, for instance, you may have a problem with the distributive property. All right, so I am going to show you actually two separate methods of doing this problem. The first is you could distribute 3 times 3, 3 times negative 3. That gives you 3 times 3x is 9x. 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. That equals 27. Once again, always do the opposite operations. Opposite of minus 9 or negative 9 is positive 9. Mr. Davis, is that minus 9 or negative 9? As I always tell my students, yes. 9x equals 36. The opposite of times 9 is divide by 9. You get x equals 4. Now, other students do not like to distribute first. Rather, they divide first. So to get rid of the parentheses, you can also get rid of the number in front. Divide both sides by 3. That will cancel over there. You're left with the stuff inside the parentheses. 3x minus 3 equals 9. Lovely, isn't it? Now, in order to solve that, we have to get rid of the minus 3 first, or the negative 3. The opposite of that is plus 3. Always do inverse operations. 3x equals 12. Opposite of times 3 is divide by 3. You still get x equals 4. It doesn't matter which way you do it, as long as you keep yourself consistent. Right, that is the distributive property. But Mr. Davis, what if there's multiple terms in the equation? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let's try that one next. And by all means, if you need to, feel free to pause the video and figure what's happening. If you have questions, feel free to email me or your teacher or work on your own. We can work this out. We will be able to do this. If you get the problems wrong in the Delta Math, it will explain how to do the problems. You just have to do more examples in order to get the full credit. You're not going to be doomed either way. Just work it out. You can do this. Even if you don't have a teacher in the classroom with you, you can do this. All your teachers, including me, will have office hours to help you with this. All right, so next example. What if we have the distributive property and like terms going on? Negative 2x minus 5 minus 3x plus 5 equals negative 37. Okay, to solve this kind of problem, first we have to get in the two-step equations that we like to have it look like. Otherwise, we're not going to be having fun with this. So first thing we do, distribute. 4 times negative 2x is negative 8x. 4 times negative 5 is negative 20. Negative 3x, 5, and negative 37. Oh, but Mr. Davis, we have multiple terms now. Well, combine like terms. Make it easier. This is negative 8x. This is negative 3x. If I owe someone 8 of the x's, I owe someone else 3 of the x's, I owe altogether 11 x's. Now notice, this negative 3 does not mean subtract everything after it. It means just the negative for the 3. It has nothing to do...
Hey, Dave, here in the building, if you couldn't sing by this.
Sorry about that. Mr. Wright did not ask my permission to make that announcement. Kidding, doesn't actually matter. Negative 20 and positive 5 makes negative 15. In the future, you'll probably have me taking these videos from my home, and you might hear my 6 and 2-year-old at some points. Hopefully, you can focus on the actual math going on, though. Although they are cute. Now, minus 15, you add 15 to both sides, because we have that lovely two-step equation you've been doing forever. Negative 11x equals negative 27. Negative 22, sorry. Mistakes happen. There's no problem with making mistakes in math. We learn from them as long as you can fix them. Divide by negative 11. You get x equals 2. Isn't that lovely? Isn't it everything you ever wanted? All right, there is one other type of question that might be showing up in your Delta Math assignment. It involves fractions. Do not be scared of fractions. They work just the same as any other number. So feel free to pause this, take notes if you need to, learn. I'm going to erase right now, though. And if you don't have me and you rather listen to another math teacher, I'm sorry, but you'll live. And if you have me, I'm sorry you're stuck listening to my annoying voice so often. It could be worse. 10 equals 1/2 x minus 4. All right. Now, most students do not like dealing with fractions. A method you could do to avoid that is to multiply everything by the denominator to make it all go away. The denominator is 2. Multiply everything by 2. 2 times 10 is 20. 2 times 1/2 is just 1. That leaves you with 20 equals x minus 4. Add 4 to both sides. You get x equals 24. Now, a lot of you might have written 24 equals x at that point. It really honestly doesn't matter. I just have a preference to having the x on the left side. It doesn't really matter. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or your math teachers. My email is richard.davis@slcschools.org. Your math teacher has their own email. It all follows the same format. First name dot last name @slcschools.org. Regardless, work these problems. Figure out what's going on. And if you need help, your teachers all have office hours. We'll all have emails. You can talk to us. We can figure this out. All right, that is your first lesson. We'll be doing this for the foreseeable future until we can actually be together. We'll find out. But we'll make do with what we have. Thank you.